getting so much lazier with the production design of these videos, but I have a FX6 rented out, so I'm filming this episode on that camera. So good thing expensive equipment cancels out bad filmmaking. Yeah, so hello, I'm Liam Baldwin, and welcome back to my creative log. This week, I accomplished more than I did last week, which is great. First off, I guess I edited a good amount of my feature film, and by saying a good amount, I mean not actually a good amount, but I reached a milestone. So I edited for like 2 days, and I reached, I want to say I have like 9-10 minutes done, which is, I'd say that's a good amount. Of a feature, it's not great, but I just started a few weeks ago, so I'm pretty proud of myself. And it's kind of, I've been trying to get to this point for a while, and I finally did, so feeling good about that. I'm just excited now that I'm like in a groove, and I'm expecting to get a lot more done hopefully this week. Maybe not this week, but maybe next week. So it's good to be in that groove, and I'll talk more about getting in grooves a little bit later. I also produced like a unit of a doc. So I don't know why I said that weird, documentary. My friend made a documentary with his other friends, and he asked me to come on for this 1 day shoot of like a round table, so they can edit that into the doc, and they're like talking about stuff in the doc, and then they can cut to it. So I was asked to be a producer, and this is the first time I've ever produced anything, so it was a little weird, but I don't know, I guess I say weird because I didn't know what to do, and I felt like I was doing everything wrong, but he said I did a good job, and it went smoothly, and we rented out everything we needed to, got the release forms, got the crew. So I mean, I guess I did do it right, which I don't know why I'm not allowing myself to say I did a good job, but I think I did a good job, which is great. So that's really cool, and it's cool to have that done. So like, although it was 1 day of being, I'm like leaning because I feel like I'm not in the frame, but I know I am in the frame, so I don't know why I'm leaning. Sorry. But now, like, just because it's a 1 day, still I feel like I have the skill to produce bigger things now. I don't think I want to be a producer, but like, it's so nice to know how to be a producer, even if it's just 1 day. Of course, it would get much harder if I did more, but I feel like I understand how to do it now, so that's great. I love learning new skills, even if I'm not going to really use them, and I really don't want to be a producer, but you know, I can do it again. I can do it for myself, which is nice. Moving on, last week I said I have to get a lot of writing done, and that I didn't do a lot of writing last week, and so this week I did, but I procrastinated a lot because I couldn't get in the groove that I wanted to, and I just sit there and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this, oh, I don't know how to do this, I don't want to write this, I know what I have to write, but I don't, like, I keep second guessing it, or I keep just wanting to do something else, because I am a crazy procrastinator. So I watched like a whole season of 30 Rock. I don't even know why I watched 30 Rock. Someone mentioned it a few weeks ago, and it's been on my mind, so now I'm like, oh, I'll rewatch it, you know. So I spent way more time watching 30 Rock than I should have been writing, but at the end of this week, I finally sat down and I wrote, and I think that's because I watched, there's a few reasons actually, but I watched Matt Johnson, I think his name is, the guy who did Blackberry. I watched The Dirties, his first feature film, and there's a song in it, and that song he was talking about in the commentary as well, and he's like, oh, it's the best song for like characters that just like that are like just being each other with each other, being themselves with each other, I should say, and like just it's a great friendship song, and I forget what song it is. Now I want to know. Yeah, When I'm With You by Best Coast. I'd heard it before, but they played it, and I'm like, completely forgot that song ever existed, and it's a great song, so I've been listening to it as I've been writing, and It's really good. It's really sad, but I think it fits the melancholic tone that I'm going for my future Paranoid Pill that I'm writing. That song really helped. It helped me because once I start writing, I write a lot because I just don't allow myself to sit down and write, which is a problem. So there's this point in I said I'd bring this up in my first video. I said I'd bring this up again since I'm a slow reader. So The History of Bones by John Lurie. John Lurie was talking about his friend that was in the Lounge Lizards with him, his band, and he was talking about worrying about time, like your time of your playing, because they're in a jazz band, and how like some people were saying like, oh, this guy's time is off or whatever. And he says that like your time in music has everything to do with your confidence and ease in playing. If you start worrying about your time, then forget it. Because if you worry about the thing that you're doing, it's like breathing, right? It's like if you think about breathing, then you're manually breathing, and you shouldn't do that. I think he's talking about the same thing with this, and he's like, who has perfect time? Like a metronome has perfect time. But what's the value of a metronome if it's perfect, right? So it doesn't matter exactly if you need perfect time, it just matters that there is time. It matters that this person has this confidence of it. And I hope this is making sense, because I don't want to read the whole thing, but it would make a lot more sense if I read the whole thing. But he's basically saying there's no such thing as perfect time besides metronomes, and that you shouldn't worry about it. And so I read that as well, and that made me like think about it, and I'm like, I can't hold myself back from writing any longer, because if I do, I'm going to be thinking about, oh, it's not great, whatever. But there's no reason for that, right? Like, oh, it needs to be perfect. It's a first draft. I'll rewrite it. This is even a short film draft for a feature film draft. Like, I haven't even finished the whole thing. There's bound to be problems with it, and I'll go back and I'll rewrite this part of it, and all of that. Like, I'll get to it and I'll fix it and it'll be better later. But right now I don't need to worry about it. So I just need to get stuff down. I need to get the story down, and I shouldn't worry about if like the dialogue is corny or too straightforward. Like, I'll get to that later. I can fix it. I'm not like making it tomorrow. And then my goal for next week, write the first 25 pages of that script, get that done for class. And I am ADing my friend's film. We did the first day like 2 weeks ago that I talked about, but now we are doing the next 3 days, which is the final days. So that'll be this coming weekend, and I'll talk about that in my video, probably that next week. Hoping that goes really well. We did some changes to the schedule today, so I think it should be more efficient, but I might have to work on that a little bit more for pre-production. But besides that, I'm excited to be on set again and working with my friends. That'll be really cool. And then I have a feature meeting, I think on Thursday, talking about a feature I want to do with my friend. We're going to do that in the Wisconsin Dells, which will be very exciting. It's going to be like an improv film shot with multiple cameras, so that'll be cool. Very messy, coming up soon, need to get stuff locked in, need to figure so much out that we haven't figured out yet. But hopefully that'll happen in the meeting, and if not, we'll get there. Not super worried about that one. That one's going to be really fun. And try and make room for editing more of Corn Syrup, my feature. Hopefully I can fit in some more time, but after I finish my friend's film, ADing my friend's film, I'll have plenty more time. So that'll be exciting. And once I get this script stuff done. Last week I said I would talk about this book, Design is Storytelling. It's my Directing 4 book that I got for my class, Directing 4. And I read the chapter that we had to read. It is this much of the book, so like a third of the book basically. And it's about design in storytelling. It's not specifically like a directing textbook or anything. And no offense to Ellen Lupton, because this is a great book for like other people. Like, I'm not getting anything out of this book. I like maybe in the lecture in class, like if when the teacher talks about it, I'll like understand what she wants us to get out of it. But like, it's basically just talking about design. And I don't know, they talk about like Starbucks, right? And like Starbucks like makes an experience out of getting coffee instead of just like making a cup of coffee yourself for much cheaper. They're like, oh, they write your name on it, and it's a personal experience, and this and that, and you see them make it, and they hand it to you, and then, yeah, whatever. I don't know. I'm getting nothing out of this book at all, and I just don't need it. I don't know. Maybe I'll get more out of the lecture. I'm not sure, but for right now, I'm not finding any help in that as much as I tried to get help out of it. But honestly, I think this is a lesson in like some people will find meaning in one thing and others won't, and that's in everything, right? So it's like I tried so hard. I read that chapter like twice trying to figure out what I was missing from it, but I'm not even going to try anymore because it's fine. I just didn't get anything out of it. I'm not going to make myself get stuff out of it. So, I mean, I get a lot out of this book, and I get a lot out of other things as well, like just learning on my own on sets and stuff like that. Also, this week I saw a bunch of screenings for a bunch of films that my friends did, so that was really cool. And honestly, that's how I learn a lot. I just learn through like what my friends make and what other people make on the internet. That's like my peers, right? Like that people my age that make like films at the same quality that I do or around the same quality. And I can learn so much from that, and I learned a lot from that. So it's like, there, I didn't learn anything from that book, but I am learning from my friends, I'm learning through other stuff I watch, it's great, And then finally tonight, me and my friend are going to see a film screening of like a few different films that students have made at our school, and it's like led by a production company that's like made these films, I believe. And I don't know a lot of people that work on the production company, and I don't really know anyone that's made these films. I think I know one of them, but beyond that, I don't really know a lot of people, but I'm going to go see it, and I'm really excited to see my peers' work, and maybe it'll be like a cool way to talk to new people as well. But yeah, basically, that was a long-winded way of saying my friends are talented, people around me are talented, I'm excited to see more, and it's really just inspiring to see so many people making stuff, and stuff that I like actually truly love. And that's where I'm learning the most I am right now. Like that's where I'm learning the most right now. It's not from a book that I don't understand, but it's from seeing my friends and peers be so talented, and then talking to them about that and learning so much about how I can make my films as well as they do. And yeah, that's basically it. I feel like this is a long one, so I'm sorry if you actually watched it. But I really enjoy making these, and some people are actually watching these, which is crazy. Like someone that I know walked up to me and was like, "Oh, I saw your thing recommended to me," and I'm like, "Oh, that's like somewhat embarrassing, but also it's like, what am I doing this for if not for other people to see it, I guess." But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I know I'm filming this on a better camera, but I'm pretty sure this setup and the lighting are so garbage that it doesn't even seem like a difference, I'm sure. I'm hoping the mic works because I did not wear a lav right now. So hoping that shotgun works. Okay, goodbye.